Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and I'm showing off the, well, semi-free ship. You can actually technically buy this ship, and I really regret for anyone that actually bought this ship. It's the Prinz Eitel Friedrich, or I'm just going to call it the PEF. It is a free ship that you can actually grind your way towards. They were releasing missions every couple weeks. And once you get it finished, you can actually get the ship, and then it starts off a campaign where you can get a lot of tier 6 ships for free. That includes the Hatsuharu, Nuremberg, etc. And let me talk about the ship. Okay, so starting off, there's a few good characteristics I like about the ship. I like the way she looks. I do. I think she looks like a very sexy ship. She is fairly long. I would almost say feels more like a battle cruiser than a battleship. Nothing compared to like the Bayern. She's also very speedy, with a top speed of about 28 knots. She has a good turning circle radius and rudder shift time. And she has actually really good AA. Her 5.4 kilometer range is actually 134 DPM. So fairly good AA, which is extremely beneficial because there are planes in this battle. I am joined with Dread in the T-61. Now, the reason why I started off with the benefits of the ship, is that I really don't like this ship. I might have also come down to, I also didn't like the BR and I didn't have much fun with her. But this ship, she runs 350 millimeter caliber shells, which are about 14 inches, roughly. And yeah, against cruisers, fantastic. But against battleships, she struggles a teensy bit. Not saying that she can't do damage, as you will see against this Britannia. You will do fairly decent damage. Dispersion's kind of the normal battleship dispersion, so I really can't fault it on that. I do run aiming system mod. She doesn't have a lot of secondaries, so running a secondary mod isn't really that beneficial. I think the only thing is my captain is actually my first captain, so it does have manual secondary control, fire control of secondary turrets. So it does have that, but it's actually not that useful for tier 6 and lower because you actually don't really get that buff from it. But the reason why I don't like this ship is for the first, I don't even know, want to say like 4 or 5 battles were pretty abysmal. I've had a lot of instances where I get a lot of ricochets, a lot of broken shells, and just not doing the damage that I would normally associate a battleship to do. Now, however, here's the thing, and this is true for a lot of ships out there, I know it is, but if she is out-tiered, say in a tier 8 batch, she's gonna struggle. But like I said, that can be pretty much said about any ships out there. But one thing she doesn't do really well, and this is kind of a German thing, German battleships really struggle at this, is the fact of it's not a long-range sniper, it's a brawler. So in like ranked sprint, it's a really good ship. It was actually a really good ship in the ranked season that they had recently. But once again, she's not really a long-range sniper like the, well, hell, even the Fuso is not really a long-range sniper. But Fuso at least has that benefit of actually decent range, and it does have 12 shells versus the 8 that you see on here. Now keep an eye on the planes that we shoot down. We actually do really good job with the planes. We will actually shoot down quite a bit of planes in this battle. So my main issue, I think it really is coming down to, is just a really bad experience. Her shells, yeah, like you'll see this for Taka here, who's going to make a very silly decision to turn broadside against a Friedrich. we'll get a citadel, and you know, we'll do nice damage. But for whatever reason, it just generally does struggle, especially against other battleships. Yes, we'll get those nice pen damage on battleships, but just it's sometimes lackluster. I think that's my biggest complaint. Now, this battle, it may not be particularly amazing. You're not going to see high damage. This is actually one of the few battles I actually had to get Dread in to assist me to actually get a freaking win in this game. This is why, maybe that's why I'm really despising the ship, is just the kind of lackluster battles I've had just by myself, and not really being able to do much, or just being out tiered by tier 8s. So guns, they can hit hard, but against battleships they struggle. Against cruisers, you get either those citadels or you'll overmatch, as you will be seeing here in a moment against that Furutaka, which is super annoying. And that's pretty much it. Her secondaries are, they're semi-decent. They're not impressive. So don't do a secondary build on the ship. I mean, yes, they are German secondaries, which Germans are kind of known for. But all in reality, just opt out of the secondaries and you'll be fine. Like there against that Britannia, we just did 10k, knocked out the majority of the damage there. And look how quickly we're wiping out the airplanes here. This is a tier 6 airplane, or a squadron better yet, so fairly decent. Unfortunately, we are going to eat a torpedo, which is going to be unfortunate, but doesn't do that much damage. It only does about 6,000 there. Get our very first kill against that Britannia, which is very much needed because our team is struggling a little bit. And this is why I kind of picked this battle, because it shows off the PEF, but it also shows off what not to do when you are in the lead, essentially snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Wow, I kind of butchered that. But anyway, there's a Furutaka that's coming around the corner, broadside, and we get 2 overbends. Oh, that Furutaka should have been dead, but instead the CV is going to drop on him. Completely whiffs the drop there. Furutaka drops torpedoes, not going to hit us at all. But unfortunately for us, the eastern side of the map has completely fallen to where we have a New Mexico about 7 kilometers away from us, and having a little slight bug there. Don't exactly know what's causing that. Alright, sorry about that cut. Had a slight issue with the replay. It was turning out a little buggy, but there we go. We got our second kill. Finally got that citadel. And like I was saying, the entire eastern front has essentially fallen and allowed these 3 battleships, actually, yes, 3 battleships, a destroyer, and a cruiser to push up into B. And, well, unfortunately, I'm technically the only one really here to potentially stop them. So, main focus is going to be this Hatsuharu. He's probably the most dangerous. Now, keep in mind, those 3, the 2 New Mexico and the Hatsuharu, are actually in a div together, so do have to be careful with them. But even with the AP, yeah, that was pretty good. 7,350 took out the majority of the Hatsuharu's health. I am being assisted by Dread with those shots coming in. Secondaries were actually hitting. We got semi-decent, only 4 hits with our secondaries. But once again, the turning token radius for the Fituk is actually the one really nice thing about this ship, is it's actually fairly decent. It has a good rudder shift time, so it can actually make those turns a little bit more tightly and less likely to eat torpedoes. Looks like the New Mexico is turning away, did get dropped, and of course, as soon as I fired my guns, the Hatsuharu does show up. And this Hatsuharu doesn't seem to believe in the use of HE against battleships and a destroyer, because, yeah, I mean, he's done probably a few hundred points of damage with that AP salvo there. Not overly impressive right now. And for whatever reason, these battleships seem to ignore me for a while. Does allow me to get a decent hit at that New Mexico, even though he is stern, do penetrate through his bow armor. Now, the armor of the Friedrich is just like any other German battleships. It does have that turtleback armor, where closer you are, the less likely you are to get citadeled, but it can still eat pens, so you do have to at least semi-angle. And angling is always a very good idea. There we go, take out the enemy Hataharu. That's one last thing I have to worry about. But obviously, 3 battleships versus 1 is not particularly a fun time. And I think, honestly, right now I should have turned away. But as that New Mexico obviously shows, yeah, my time here is not going to last for very much longer. So might as well try to do as much as I can. And probably our main focus is going to be taking out the enemy Pensacola. Because keep in mind, these are New Mexicos, and they're not particularly fast in the way of traversing the map. So taking out the Pensacola will definitely help my friend Dread and the Destroyer survive for longer. Because obviously Pensacola is a cruiser. Pensacola does get citadeled by the friendly Miyoko, I believe. We actually have the Miyoko. Keep an eye on this Miyoko. He's actually kind of round. Dropping torpedoes to assist. Now, he is in a T-61. Does have a good reload on the torpedoes. They just don't hit as hard. And, of course, when you want those citadels against a Pensacola, he just can't seem to get it. And he is firing AP, doing a very sizable amount of damage. Secondaries are all ablazing. Focusing my secondaries on the Pensacola right now. Definitely want him dead to ensure that Dread does survive. There I go, finally go down. And the enemy team is actually ahead in ships. We actually lost our independents, who decided trying to go into A is actually the best idea right now. And as you can see, we have October facing off against a Congo with a Nevny over there and this Miyoko. Now Dread leaves it a little bit late, but fortunately that Pensacola is so low on health that in the T-61, its AP can actually deal with a light cruiser with relative ease. And I'm gonna see if I can just kind of keep control of the camera, because the replays with Wargaming is not particularly amazing. So Dread is exceptionally low on health. And should be able to take out this Pensacola. There we go. Pensacola is now dead, which has evened up, and there goes the Friedrich, and there goes to New Mexico in the span of about 6 seconds. T-61 Dread takes out the Friedrich, and the Miyoko also gets the New Mexico, which has left the very slow moving New Mexico pretty much out of position. And this Congo is, well, he's essentially going to get focused down by the enemy October Revolution. And, well, there's not very much that he can do. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Dread is going to essentially, and hopefully quietly, take out this New Mexico with relative ease. And this was essentially a quick look at the PEF. We are going to win this battle. There's not much this New Mexico can really do, especially considering he's fairly low on health. I believe, actually no, never mind. Don't think Dread could even chance on doing a suicide run to torp him. He could, but we're going to win in about a minute. There's not much this New Mexico's going to do. So this is going to be it. A quick look at the PEF. I really feel sad for everyone that has bought the PEF. There were essentially missions that you can get with a PEF purchase that unlocks additional steel. Honestly, I don't think it's really particularly worth it. I just rather get the ship for free and be satisfied with the fact that I didn't have to buy it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.